Imagine changing your life by just 1% every day. It sounds small, almost insignificant, right? But what if I told you that improving by just 1% each day could make you 37 times better in a year? This is the power of small, consistent habits, and today, we're diving into the science behind it. We often think that success requires massive, life-altering changes. But the truth, success is actually the sum of small, consistent habits. Just like a seed grows into a tree, tiny habits compound into life-changing outcomes. Let's talk about British cycling. For nearly a century, they couldn't win, but everything changed when they focused on improving each aspect by 1%. From seat comfort to hand-washing techniques, they made marginal gains. And it worked. They went from 0 wins to dominating world championships. This is called the aggregation of marginal gains. It's the idea that by making tiny improvements in different areas, the combined effect creates exponential growth. This method doesn't need heroic actions, just small, intentional improvements. Now, why do small habits work so well? Think of habits as compound interest. Just as money grows over time with interest, so do habits. The effects might be invisible at first, but over months or years they become life-changing. Here's the thing. Bad habits also compound. Imagine making poor health decisions daily. You might not notice the impact immediately, but after years, the cumulative effect becomes clear. Small choices define our future selves. A habit is formed when a cue, craving, response, and reward loop completes. This sequence forms the backbone of every habit, good or bad. It's automatic, almost like we're on autopilot, following cues and cravings unconsciously. To change a habit, we need to change each part of the loop. Let's say you want to exercise more. Create a cue, like placing your gym shoes by the door. This subtle nudge can make a world of difference in building that habit. Behavioral scientist B.F. Skinner popularized this model decades ago, but it lacked one component: the emotional aspect. Recent research shows that emotions, our internal states, strongly influence behavior. To create lasting change, we need to account for both external cues and internal feelings. Most of us think change happens only through willpower, but the real magic lies in shaping our environment. When you see healthy snacks on the counter, you're more likely to choose them. Our surroundings influence our choices more than we realize. Environment design is powerful. Imagine a smoker trying to quit while surrounded by cigarettes. It's like swimming upstream. Changing the environment, like keeping cigarettes out of sight, makes quitting easier. So, what if you could create an environment where good habits are easy and bad habits are hard? This is a game changer. It's not about resisting temptation. It's about eliminating it from the start. Think about setting up your home or office in a way that supports your goals. Want to read more? Place books around your home. Want to avoid junk food? Keep it out of sight or avoid buying it altogether. When we focus on systems instead of goals, we're setting ourselves up for long-term success. Systems are processes that lead to results, while goals are just outcomes. Goals are good for setting direction, but systems are what keep us on track. Imagine a basketball coach only focusing on the final score. It wouldn't work. Success happens in practices, in the daily grind. The scoreboard takes care of itself when the team commits to their training system. Let's say your goal is to lose weight. Instead of only focusing on the number on the scale, build a system around healthy eating and exercise. The results will follow naturally, without obsessing over them. Here's a powerful idea: identity-based habits. Instead of saying, "I want to be fit," say, "I am a fit person." When you identify with your goal, your actions align with it naturally. It's no longer a task, it's who you are. This identity shift is powerful. A smoker trying to quit might say, "I'm trying to quit." But someone who's embraced their new identity says, "I'm not a smoker." The difference in mindset can make all the difference. Building a new identity takes time, but every action you take is a vote toward the person you want to become. It's about consistency, not perfection. Each small decision matters. Imagine two planes starting from the same location, but one is pointed just a few degrees differently. After thousands of miles, they end up in completely different destinations. Habits are like that. A tiny shift today can lead to a totally different life in a year or a decade. This is why it's so important to focus on the journey, not just the destination. Celebrate small wins along the way, and trust that the results will follow. Don't give up when results seem slow. Progress isn't always visible. Trust the process and know that success is building beneath the surface. In the end, it's all about the power of tiny habits.